winning, either for yourself, if you're Bottas or Perez, or at least then being a factor in helping your teammate win the race, which is where this number 2 driver and strategy is going to be critical, I think, this year. If you have 2 drivers at the front, it can make a really, really big difference and put the pressure on the one. If it's either Verstappen, as it was in Imola, Hamilton at Imola, or Verstappen in Bahrain.
What happens if there's... We haven't really discussed this. What happens if it's a 2 and 2? Because it's something we've not seen in
ever. A long time.
Maybe a bit with Ferrari. I can't remember it, none leap to mind, but there must have been a time where it was sort of 2 and 2. But, yeah, I'm curious to see how that sort of race would pan out. Or whether they all just neutralise each other.
Well, it'll all be the attack on the leader, won't it? It'll be, let's say Hamilton's leading, and you've got Verstappen, Perez and Bottas there.
That's a 2-on-1.
What, Hamilton leading, Verstappen, Perez and Bottas there?
That's what I'm asking.
That's a 2-on-2.
No, but I'm saying is that, but if you've got Red Bull 2nd and 3rd, is that all that matters? Or does Bottas
and 4th
come into play?
Exactly, then Mercedes have got to get...
And pit board check.
PFC and pit board again.
Copy.
Hey, Roberto, stop the coffee.
It's the race, that part.
And pit board check.
PFC and pit board again.
Copy.
So, Sainz...
Roberto, stop the coffee.
So Roberto, obviously the pit board guy, and Sainz is saying, stop having the coffee and show me my pit board, please. Por favor. Yeah, but it's a really interesting dynamic, and one that we've seen a lot of potential of it, but never actually seen it occur.
And it's all assuming that they're proper fixtures in the race as well, and they've got the pace and the minerals to really make a difference at the sharp end. Your Perez or your Bottas, maybe they'll be at the sharp end. Perez outqualified, Verstappen was on the front row last time out, so it can happen. But I think it will add a fascinating dynamic to a Grand Prix, having all 4 of them close and up there.
Just been looking back at last year to remind myself of what happened, and suddenly realised that reading it obviously made me realise that Mercedes and Alex Albon set their best time in Q3 on the medium tyre, and Q2, but in Q3 as well. How bizarre is that?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
We don't see that very often, do we? In fact, almost never.
It rings a bell.
Just thought I'd bring it up.
But I can't remember why. Why did that happen? Don't know.
I think they couldn't get the soft tyre working properly last year, but it was again the oily surface, and it was all wasn't helping, and they just thought that the medium was actually the better tyre over one lap, and there was really little to choose between the two compounds. But I don't think we're going to see that again this year, because I think whilst it's been negligible, it's actually been really negligible, the difference. Everyone has at least fired up the soft tyre to improve a little bit of time on their first flying lap, and then they've struggled to improve thereafter on a soft, and that's a sign that the soft is sort of working. And what you don't want to see is really the time coming down over lap after lap after lap. It should be that you get them red hot for the first lap and then extract them the most amount of time in that time, and then you can't go any quicker. And of course that means you can run 1 lap of fuel as well and save a small amount of pace there.
Checker flag out. Hamilton ends the session quickest for the first time in 2021. A tenth of a second quicker than Max Verstappen. Valtteri Bottas 3rd in the Mercedes, 4th for Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, 5th and 6th the 2 Alpines of Alonso and Ocon, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Stroll and Perez the rest of the top 10. Then it's Gasly, Norris, Russell, Tsunoda and Vettel the top 15. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Latifi and Mazepin, the 20 drivers.
So Hamilton tops the session, and the first session that he's topped of a free practice this year. It bodes well for Mercedes. Bodes well for a competition and a race, doesn't it, Jack?
Yeah, really looking forward to this. And how important is pole position going to be? Obviously, always important.
Hang on a minute.
Blah,
He's
blah.
given me so much grief for asking that question.
Yeah, because obviously it's important. But
Jolien?
well, it could be absolutely critical. Well, what are you thinking? It is not that important this weekend?
No, I'm not saying. Oh, whatever. Whatever, you two.
It's going to be critical.
Ask Jolene a question.
It's going to. You got to
whatever, no,
qualify on
whatever.
pole, and then you're holding the aces, aren't you?
Are you?
Yeah. You got track position over.